Swashbuckler, Cowboy, Spaceman. In this video, we'll look back at the career of Guy Williams. Guy was named Armando Joseph Catalano when he was born. He was from the Washington Heights area of New York City. At 6'3", Guy had movie star good looks. While working as a salesman in a department store, he decided to send his photos to a modeling agency. He was successful very quickly and had photographs in newspapers and magazines, including Harper's Bazaar, as well as on billboards and book covers. When he moved to acting, his agent, Henry Wilson, suggested the name Guy Williams after a director refused to cast him because his first professional name, Guido Armando, sounded too foreign. In 1946, Guy signed a one-year contract with MGM and moved to Hollywood. It didn't go well. He appeared in only a few films and soon returned to New York, where he resumed modeling. He worked for a while in the new field of television commercials. Then, in 1952, he again obtained a one-year contract, this time with Universal International, and moved back to Hollywood. He appeared in a number of well-known and soon-to-be cult films, usually in small, uncredited roles. These included The Day the Earth Stood Still and I Was a Teenage Werewolf. The last one starred Michael Landon, who later portrayed Little Joe Cartwright on Bonanza. He would again work with Guy in the near future. In 1957, Guy was cast in his breakout role as Don Diego, who is also known as El Zorro. Walt Disney himself interviewed Guy and told him to grow a mustache for the role. Guy also trained in fencing with the Belgian champion Fred Cavens, who also trained Douglas Fairbanks, Errol Flynn, and Tyrone Power. Zorro was a hit. Guy earned $2,500 per week in the role, which was a really large salary in 1957, particularly since so many more episodes were produced than by today's standards. Over a 2-year period, 78 episodes of Zorro were produced, and several of those were re-edited into movies. Guy's next big break came in 1964, when he was added to the cast of the hit TV series Bonanza as Ben's nephew, Will Cartwright, and presumably Little Joe's cousin. He was intended to replace the departing Pernell Roberts as one of the 4 lead characters. Unfortunately, Guy was written out of the series after just 5 episodes, when Pernell Roberts returned for one more season. The following year, Guy had his next big hit, Lost in Space. Guy landed the role of John Robinson, head of the Robinson family and commander of the Jupiter 2 spaceship.
Guy Williams test for space.
Great. I want to talk a little bit about the new show we're going to do called Lost in Space.
Uh-huh.
We have an idea that you might be great to play the father.
Well, I saw one of those little flying machines.
Yeah, space saucer.
Yeah. I'd like to get one for myself.
All right.
The little one, you know.
Yeah. You can smoke if you like while we tell you about it.
All right.
This is a story that takes place a couple of hundred years from now. A population explosion has reached a pinnacle and man now looks for new places to live. And they take a trip out to outer space. Do you know June Lockhart?
Yes.
Have you ever worked with him?
No, not yet.
Well, I didn't. Well, maybe next week, huh? You play the father of a 17-year-old girl. We were a little concerned that maybe that would be a little old for you. The girl, I mean.
Do you know when I started?
No. Started what?
Well, I might be old enough.
Oh, don't you have a grown son or daughter?
I have a son who's 12.
After Lost in Space ended, Guy's investments allowed him to lead a comfortable life without requiring him to act regularly. Guy first visited Argentina in 1973 and found he was quite the celebrity. The Argentine people loved him and his character El Zorro. Guy in turn fell in love with the culture and people of Argentina and he retired to Buenos Aires. In subsequent years, Guy was known to bring some of his Zorro cast members to Argentina, including Henry Calvin, who performed as Sergeant Garcia. Guy even formed a circus with a local fencing champion, Fernando Lopez, traveling all over South America. In 1983, Guy returned to Los Angeles for 2 final television appearances. He joined Lost in Space cast members June Lockhart, Angela Cartwright, Bob May, and Marta Kristen for 2 celebrity episodes of Family Feud. They competed against the casts of Batman and Gilligan's Island.
Here we have Professor John Robinson, Mr. Numero Uno, Guy Williams.
Welcome, Guy. Good to have you here.
And with us today also is the young lady who played our daughter, Angela Cartwright.
Who has grown into a beauty.
She played Penny.
Oh, how are you, Mother?
And for all the people watching who wondered who or what was really in the robot, ladies and gentlemen,
Bob the
Bobby
robot?
May.
Good to have you with us. Thank you.
We finally got him out of that tin can. And my dear friend, Marta Kristen, who played our daughter, and of course, Marta also played Judy Robinson on the show. Marta Kristen.
Thank you for being here, Marta.
He later appeared as a guest on Good Morning America. Guy died May 6, 1989, of a brain aneurysm. He was only 65 years old, but he left behind a history of several classic TV and film performances that we can all enjoy to this day. Did you know Guy Williams was a superstar in Argentina? What's your favorite Guy Williams role? Let us know in the comments down below.